Yes. What if the very emotions you fear could be the key to unlocking your true potential? In Untriggered Mind, Gaining Control Over Trauma Triggers, we delve into the shadows cast by past traumas, revealing their hidden power over our thoughts, behaviors, and relationships. This book serves as a transformative guide, offering insights and tools to help you confront and reframe your triggers, ultimately leading you toward a life of agency and freedom. As you journey through the pages ahead, prepare to challenge your perceptions and embrace the uncomfortable, for healing is often birthed from the depths of darkness. Untriggered Mind, Gaining Control Over Trauma Triggers, written and published by Mindset Liberation. Chapter 1. Understanding Triggers and Their Hidden Power. The invisible chains of past trauma often guide us more than we realize, shaping our reactions, decisions, and even our sense of self. Triggers, which originate from unresolved emotional wounds, can ignite a range of responses, often leading to overwhelming anxiety or unexplainable anger. Understanding these triggers is not merely an academic exercise, it is a critical step toward reclaiming autonomy over our lives. The journey of unraveling these complex emotional ties unveils a landscape inhabited by numerous individuals grappling with similar challenges, yet few are willing to voice their struggles. It is estimated that nearly 70% of adults experience at least one traumatic event in their lifetime, and a significant number subsequently develop symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, anxiety, or depression. This pervasive issue lurks beneath the surface, often unnoticed among those who appear composed and stable. The origins of triggers can be traced back to moments of deep emotional pain, often chronicled in our formative years. A seemingly mundane phrase, a particular scent, or even a whispered memory can invoke feelings that transport us to the very heart of our trauma. Take, for instance, Sarah, a vibrant marketing professional who found herself inexplicably frozen at the sound of thunder during a summer storm. To onlookers, her panic seemed disproportionate. However, for Sarah, that sound triggered vivid memories of a childhood incident where she felt helpless and exposed. Similarly, many carry their trauma like a covert burden, unaware that their frequent conflicts in relationships or difficulties at work stem from these unprocessed echoes of the past. It is not just a personal struggle. Various studies highlight the impact that untreated trauma can have on cognitive functioning, emotional regulation, and interpersonal dynamics, reinforcing the need for increased awareness and understanding of this hidden power. Experts argue that triggers act as emotional landmines, hidden yet potent, straining our capacity to think clearly and interact openly with the world. Dr. Judith Herman, a renowned expert in trauma and psychological recovery, emphasizes that genuine healing begins with acknowledging these triggers rather than avoiding them. This acknowledgement allows us to confront underlying fears and reshape our immediate responses. If we are to break free from the grasp of trauma, we must venture into the unsettling territory of our emotional pain, identifying the moments that render us vulnerable. By demystifying these encounters, we empower ourselves to regain control over our minds. Just as a photographer adjusts the lens to capture a clearer image, we too must recalibrate our understanding of emotional triggers. By shining a light on what lurks in the shadows, we become better equipped to challenge our narratives, rewrite our trauma stories, and lay the groundwork for resilience. Every time we intentionally focus on our triggers, we are meticulously charting a path toward healing. It is a path undoubtedly fraught with discomfort, yet one that promises liberation. A promise worth pursuing as we embark upon the journey of understanding the hidden powers that lay coiled within our experiences. Triggers have a profound impact on our emotions, often making the simplest events feel overwhelmingly chaotic or triggering an intense reaction that seems disproportionate to the situation at hand. This acute emotional response can cloud our judgment, influenced by experiences that may no longer hold relevance, but still command significant power over our present. Consider Michael, an individual who has consistently struggled with workplace dynamics. After experiencing a traumatic layoff, he found himself overreacting to constructive criticism, perceiving it as a threat rather than an opportunity for growth. This response not only hampered his professional development, but also strained his relationships with colleagues, who found it challenging to communicate with him. Michael's experience highlights how unaddressed triggers cloud rational thinking, subsequently impacting decision-making processes and leading to cycles of self-doubt and entrenched maladaptive behaviors. Psychological research supports these observations, particularly in findings around the concept of emotional dysregulation. A study conducted at the University of Pennsylvania found that individuals with unresolved trauma are more likely to exhibit higher levels of emotional volatility, making everyday experiences feel like navigating a minefield of potential triggers. Such chemical responses in the brain, primarily dominated by the amygdala, can incite feelings of danger even in benign situations. For many people, the inability to recognize and rectify these triggers leads to a diminishing sense of self-esteem. A once confident individual may question their capabilities, cultivating a paralyzing fear of judgment that distorts their self-image. This downward spiral can become exceedingly lonely, creating distance between oneself and the support systems that could otherwise facilitate healing. This toxic cycle extends to relationships, where triggers often breed misunderstandings and conflict. Take Lisa, who found it difficult to maintain close connections after a painful breakup marked by emotional abuse. Every affectionate gesture from a new partner was met with trepidation. Moments that should have been warm turned into cold relapses of mistrust and fear. The constant worry of being hurt led to her pushing away those who genuinely cared, thereby embedding a deeper isolation. Conflicts arise through misinterpretations of others' intentions, driven by the fear that emotional availability could lead to further pain. This constant state of alertness hampers one's ability to form healthy, trusting relationships, further diminishing one's emotional well-being. Ultimately, people tend to fall prey to their triggers, not out of weakness, but rather because they remain unseen, like shadows lurking at the edges of consciousness. The natural inclination to avoid discomfort propels individuals to sidestep certain encounters, perpetuating a cycle of avoidance. Through ignorance or lack of awareness of these emotional landmines, many accept their reactions as part of who they are, dismissing the potential for growth and transformation. However, real solutions await beyond the veil of fear, linings that await to be uncovered through recognition and confrontation. As we embark on this exploration of self, it becomes increasingly crucial to recognize not only our triggers, but also the subtle signs that hint at their presence. Unpacking the complexity of emotions associated with our past can pave the way for greater self-awareness and resilience. The following section will reveal the hidden warning signs that most individuals overlook, providing the key to greater emotional mastery. Understanding these indicators equips us with the tools to break free from obstacles, fostering a journey toward healing and empowerment that awaits in the shadows. The realities of mental health issues linked to trauma triggers often manifest in multiple dimensions, creating a complex web of symptoms that can severely disrupt daily life. Many individuals may find themselves grappling with persistent feelings of anxiety, recurring flashbacks, or a heightened emotional state that feels both erratic and stifling. For example, consider Henry, who frequently attended social gatherings only to find himself overwhelmed by sudden waves of fear and paranoia. Although the surface appeared calm, he was gripped by the overwhelming sensation that he was being judged. Henry's symptoms extended beyond mere discomfort. They impacted his decision to withdraw from social interactions altogether, collapsing his once rich social life into a void that left him feeling isolated and misunderstood. Recognizing these manifestations of trauma is not merely an exercise. It is a crucial step toward self-awareness and healing. Every thought, emotion, and response serves as a piece of the puzzle waiting to be understood. Another case that illustrates this well is Jasmine, whose coping mechanisms swung from avoidance to aggression. At first glance, she would smile through adversity, but when the smallest stressor arose, a missed deadline or an unexpected delay, she would lash out, displaying overwhelming anger. This behavior often puzzled those around her, who had no clue that Jasmine was combating deep-rooted emotional scars resulting from familial conflict in her past. As she began to acknowledge her reactions, Jasmine discovered patterns revealing that her aggression stemmed from feelings of inadequacy and fear stemming from past rejections. Fostering awareness of these patterns, from anxiety to anger, is instrumental in discerning how deeply entrenched emotional wounds contribute to one's day-to-day behaviors and overall quality of life. Many individuals remain blissfully unaware that their phase of life, frustrations, and motivations are dictated by these unresolved issues. The moment you begin to identify these responses, a critical shift occurs. This recognition becomes a catalyst for change. The act of acknowledging the existence of trauma and its implications grants a sense of empowerment, breaking the chains of internalized silence. Healing commences with awareness, and understanding this concept can genuinely be transformative. The path ahead may feel daunting, consisting of unpleasant memories and heightened emotions, yet it is in this exploration that profound growth flourishes. From knowing why we react to specific stimuli to pinpointing irrational fears, embracing this journey allows us to rewrite our narratives. While vulnerability might seem intimidating, it is also the gateway to resilience, conveying the strength in facing our past instead of succumbing to it. As we step forward, the next chapter will introduce effective solutions for navigating the complexities of trauma triggers. From mindfulness practices to practical techniques conducive to anger management and emotional regulation, these tools serve to empower you on your healing journey. Embrace this opportunity for growth. Understanding trauma may be challenging, but it is the first pivotal step toward reclaiming your life. Remember, your presence here transforms that struggle into a resolute aspiration for better days. Engage with the community by subscribing to Mindset Liberation and sharing your insights or experiences in the comments. Together, we will triumph over barriers span, taking meaningful strides toward emotional liberation. Chapter 2: Rewiring Reactions Through Mindful Awareness. The pathway to emotional freedom begins with the transformative practice of mindful awareness, a powerful tool that invites you to engage in the present moment without judgment. Mindful awareness does not merely represent a relaxing exercise. Rather, it serves as a tactical approach for retraining your brain's response mechanisms, breaking the automatic patterns driven by unexamined triggers. By facilitating an understanding of your thoughts and emotions, this practice empowers you to regain agency over your being, nurturing the knowledge that your responses can be reshaped. Embracing mindfulness opens channels to constructive emotional responses and creates a sustainable way to reduce stress and enhance overall well-being. The origins of mindful awareness trace back to ancient practices rooted in Buddhist philosophy. However, in contemporary times, scientific research lends substantial weight to its efficacy. For instance, a study published in the journal Psychological Science revealed that individuals who engaged in mindfulness meditation exhibited improvements in emotional regulation and resilience. This suggests a fundamental truth. Cultivating awareness allows us to step back and observe our reactions, creating a space where we can choose how to respond rather than simply react. Such findings are not isolated. Experts, including Dr. Jon Kabat-Zinn, a pioneer in modern mindfulness practices, highlight its ability to foster an improved relationship with oneself, allowing you to examine your emotions without being governed by them. You may find inspiration in Mia's story, a busy professional who struggled with crippling anxiety amid her fast-paced work environment. Whenever deadlines loomed, a subtle anxiety transformed into debilitating panic attacks, leaving her feeling helpless and defeated. After learning about mindful awareness through a local workshop, Mia began incorporating short breathing exercises and mindful meditation into her routine. Immediately, she noticed a shift. The very same deadlines that previously triggered fear prompted a moment of reflection instead. Instead of instantly succumbing to anxiety, she became adept at identifying the telltale signs: tightness in her chest or racing thoughts. This awareness shifted her mindset, allowing her to invoke practical coping strategies rather than spiraling into panic. Empirical evidence supports these personal testimonials, reassuring individuals that they are not alone in their journey. Data from the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health indicates that mindfulness-based interventions are now recognized treatments for reducing anxiety and depression, reinforcing the popularity and demand for this adaptive practice. This awareness extends beyond solitary journeys. communities are emerging, fostering collective engagement in mindfulness activities that serve to bolster motivation and connection. As you embark on or continue your own journey, remember that mindful awareness doesn't require monumental leaps. Incremental changes in daily routines can lead to profound results. By simply dedicating a few moments each day to practice mindfulness, you can dismantle the looming effects of triggers, grounding yourself in the present. This fosters an environment where healthier emotional responses flourish, ultimately leading to a more empowered self. The power of mindful awareness lies within you, reminding you that it's possible to change your internal dialogue and response patterns. As we continue exploring this vital practice, prepare to unlock the more nuanced layers of emotional regulation in the upcoming sections. Recognizing how to weave mindfulness into each moment equips you with invaluable tools to bolster your emotional resilience, urging you to embrace control over your feelings and reactions. Approach this journey with an open heart and mind, knowing that the act of engaging in your own transformation is a testament to resilience. Mindful awareness proves effective in overcoming emotional challenges, primarily due to its capacity to foster neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and rewire itself. This adaptable quality allows our minds to create new pathways for thinking and responding, breaking free from ingrained, automatic reactions to stressors and triggers. When we commit to mindfulness practices, we override the habitual patterns shaped by past trauma, ultimately loosening the grip these triggers have on our emotional responses. The effectiveness of mindful awareness hinges on cultivating a present-focused mental state, which helps reduce the overactivity in the brain's threat detection centers, such as the amygdala. By lowering the hypervigilance that often accompanies anxiety and trauma, we pave the way for a more balanced emotional landscape. Numerous scientific studies reinforce the efficacy of mindfulness in mental health treatment. For instance, research published in the journal JAMA Internal Medicine indicates that mindfulness meditation can significantly alleviate anxiety, enhance emotional regulation, and improve overall psychological well-being. In this systematic review, the authors emphasize that mindfulness-based stress reduction techniques lead to measurable changes in brain activation, promoting healthier responses to stress. The same conclusions are echoed in a study published in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience, which found that practitioners of mindfulness exhibited heightened gray matter volume in regions of the brain associated with emotional regulation, cognitive processing, and self-referential processing. This empirical evidence illustrates how grounded mindfulness strategies effectively dismantle patterns built from trauma and emotional upheaval. The story of David, an individual who embraced mindfulness as a means of overcoming his struggles with anger management, stands as a testament to this transformation. Once, David found himself spiraling out of control when faced with everyday stressors, triggered by memories of long-suppressed grievances. A confrontation with a colleague could ignite his temper, resulting in volatile outbursts that alienated him from those around him and damaged relationships. On the recommendation of a therapist, David began exploring mindfulness meditation, deliberately retreating into moments where he could incorporate conscious breathing and self-reflection. Over time, David noticed dramatic shifts, wherein he could nod deeply to the bitterness of his past without feeling excessively angry when someone else triggered his old wounds. Rather than resorting to aggressive reactions, he learned the power of pause, creating space to breathe, reflect, and choose his response. As David's journey illustrates, the effectiveness of mindfulness lies not solely in eliminating emotional responses, but in recalibrating how we relate to those emotions. By anchoring ourselves in the present, we cultivate an awareness that detaches emotional intensity from our reactions. This shift serves as a bridge from impulsivity to thoughtful engagement, allowing individuals to reclaim their narratives and create healthier relationships with themselves and others. These transformations are possible for anyone willing to explore the potential of mindful awareness. Are you prepared to embark on your journey of emotional healing? With practice, reflection, and commitment, you too can navigate disruptions and foster resilience in your life. The next section will shed light on practical techniques to help you seamlessly integrate mindfulness into your daily routine, reinforcing your foundation for conquering triggers while promoting lasting emotional well-being. As you venture forth, remember, the commitment to mindful awareness opens the door to profound self-discovery and empowerment. Embracing mindful awareness requires actionable steps that allow you to integrate its principles into your daily life. The journey begins with the practice of tuning into the present moment, and I invite you to embark on this path by implementing simple yet powerful techniques. Each step is crafted to foster an environment and resilience while gradually laying the foundation for transformative change. Start with the 5 senses grounding exercise. Set aside 5 minutes at a chosen time each day where you can undisrupted. Bring your awareness to your surroundings and engage your 5 senses. Identify 5 things you can see around you, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This exercise centers your mind, allowing you to anchor in the present moment and step away from the relentless tide of thoughts or worries. It's a manageable yet impactful practice that cultivates awareness and triggers introspection about the beauty surrounding you. Next, consider incorporating a daily mindful breathing routine. At the start of your day, devote 10 minutes to focused breathwork. Find a comfortable position, close your eyes, and let your breath flow naturally. Bring your attention to your inhalation and exhalation, noticing the rhythm of your breathing. As thoughts inevitably flutter into your mind, gently redirect your focus back to your breath. This practice serves as a reset that helps you cultivate serenity and awareness, empowering you to navigate your day with a clearer mindset. To make it more engaging, try deepening your practice by counting your breaths. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 6. Another impactful technique to adopt is the reflection journal. Choose a specific time each evening to jot down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences throughout the day. Reflect on moments when you felt triggered or reacted negatively. What emotions arose? How did those moments affect your day? Writing offers clarity and introspection and fosters a sense of accountability that enriches your mindful journey. Consider placing emphasis on small wins in your journal, acknowledging even the tiniest victories, like steering your reactions positively in a stressful scenario, reinforces progress and motivates continual change. To plant mindfulness firmly into your lifestyle, identify potential opportunities to practice throughout your day. Try engaging fully in mundane tasks, whether it's enjoying a meal without digital distractions or taking a mindful walk in nature. Focus on the movement of your body, the sensations in your feet, and the sounds around you. Using everyday activities as platforms for mindfulness allows you to stretch your practice into various aspects of life, embedding the principles even deeper into your routine. Each step you take contributes to a broader journey of self-discovery and empowerment. You have the capacity to rewrite your reactions and embrace a life rich in emotional balance. With patience and persistence, the habitual responses to your triggers will gradually diminish as you strengthen the constructs of mindful awareness. As we prepare to transition to the next chapter, get ready to explore emotional regulation techniques that will further enhance your journey toward emotional mastery. These tools will equip you to face tricky situations with confidence, empowering your continued growth as you seek to reclaim control over your emotions. Don't forget to subscribe to Mindset Liberation, give this video a thumbs up, and share your thoughts or suggestions for channel development in the comments section. Together, we'll navigate this transformative journey toward healing and resilience. Chapter 3: Emotional Regulation for Lasting Inner Peace. The journey to lasting inner peace begins with the essential skill of emotional regulation. This is not merely about emotional control. It's about fostering an authentic relationship with our feelings, refining our ability to respond rather than react. Emotional regulation provides the tools needed to understand and manage intense emotions, helping to transform overwhelming experiences into opportunities for growth and self-discovery. With commitment and practice, emotional regulation empowers you to navigate life's fluctuations, guiding you toward a more mindful and centered existence. The origins of emotional regulation can be traced back to years of psychological research and therapeutic practices aimed at helping individuals process and understand their emotions. The concept gained recognition in the 1990s when psychologists began emphasizing its significance in emotional well-being and mental health. Studies indicate that people who possess strong emotional regulation skills are less likely to experience burnout, depression, or anxiety. Recent statistics reveal that a staggering 30% of adults report feelings of emotional dysregulation, underscoring how common this challenge can be. Given the scope of the issue, the call to become more adept at self-regulation has never been more urgent. Numerous expert insights deepen our understanding of emotional regulation's potential. Psychologist Dr. Daniel Goleman, in his groundbreaking book, Emotional Intelligence, highlights the indispensable role of emotional awareness in determining the quality of our interactions and decisions. He posits that being able to manage our emotions not only enhances our resilience, but also transforms our relationships, allowing us to engage with the world more effectively. Engaging with such knowledge instills a powerful sense of agency, encouraging you to believe in your capability to shift from overwhelmed to balanced. Consider the story of Alex, a young professional who continuously found himself overwhelmed by the pressures of work. Important meetings and looming deadlines often induced episodes of crippling anxiety, affecting his performance and interpersonal relationships. With his career at stake, Alex sought support and learned effective methods for emotional regulation, which broadened his perspectives on his internal world. Introducing breathing exercises and cognitive reframing, among other techniques, he developed a toolkit that allowed him to assess stressful situations with a more balanced approach. Instead of succumbing to panic when a project took a sudden turn, Alex found himself pausing to clarify his perspective before crafting a response. As a result, his confidence flourished, as did the quality of his work relationships. Incorporating emotional regulation skills into your life transforms fear into empowerment, allowing you to engage with your emotions without being overtaken by them. Moving forward with a clearer understanding of emotional regulation enables you to embrace milestones and setbacks alike. This openness cultivates resilience, encouraging personal growth as you navigate life's ups and downs. Embarking on your emotional regulation journey signifies a pivotal move toward inner peace and wellness. The invitation before you is to harness your emotions as guiding flags, enabling you to take control of your responses. As you cultivate a mindful and compassionate relationship with your feelings, you set the stage for the forthcoming chapters that will delve deeper into the art of emotional awareness and regulation. Prepare to engage more profoundly with the strategies that will equip you to balance your emotional landscape. Embrace the journey ahead and trust that every step forward is a victory toward achieving lasting inner peace. Emotional regulation proves to be an effective methodology for overcoming the difficulties typically associated with unprocessed emotions, due to its groundwork in psychological principles and its reliance on empirical research. At its core, this practice equips individuals with the skills to identify, understand, and navigate their emotional landscape, fostering a sense of mastery over feelings that can easily spiral out of control. The science behind this transformative journey lies in enhancing emotional intelligence, which has been shown to significantly correlate with various aspects of psychological resilience and well-being. Research demonstrates that individuals proficient in emotional regulation can better manage stress, improving their ability to cope with various challenges in life. A study published in the journal Emotion found that people who engaged in emotional regulation strategies such as cognitive reappraisal and expressive suppression displayed enhanced ability to handle stressful situations. This capacity fosters a profound sense of control over one's emotional responses, leading to decreased anxiety levels and improved coping skills. One compelling example of emotional regulation's effectiveness can be found in the incredible journey of Sophia, a teacher in a particularly challenging school district. Faced with constant demands and a multitude of responsibilities, Sophia initially struggled with feelings of frustration and helplessness. often lashing out at her students due to mismanaged stress. Realizing that her emotional responses affected not only her well-being but also the learning environment, she sought to develop new skills. Through dedicated training in emotional regulation, she discovered methods to cultivate her awareness, recognize her triggers, and consciously select her responses. By employing techniques such as mindfulness meditation and breathing exercises, Sophia gently nurtured a more self-compassionate approach towards her emotions. Rather than being reactive in her classroom, she began to create mental space to analyze each situation before responding. If a student acted out, instead of reverting to anger, Sophia would take a moment to breathe deeply and rethink her reaction, allowing her to address behavior more constructively. Over time, the ripple effects of her transformation extended not just to her emotional state, but also to her students, who sensed a positive shift in the classroom dynamic. The power of emotional regulation lies in its ability to reframe our experiences. When confronted with difficult emotions, individuals once trapped in reactive cycles gain the wisdom to respond thoughtfully. Empirical evidence confirms that these skills contribute directly to improved mental health metrics, including lower rates of depression and anxiety in those who actively pursue emotional regulation strategies. Consequently, the emotional clarity and health that accompany these practices provide individuals like Sophia with newfound stability, resulting in richer, more fulfilling personal and professional relationships. The urgency of mastering these skills cannot be overstated. In a world inundated with pressures and uncertainties, the ability to effectively navigate our emotional responses becomes a vital competency, empowering us to maintain balance amid chaos. As we venture further into this exploration of emotional regulation, you will uncover valuable tools and strategies that can directly enhance your capacity to engage with emotions constructively. Prepare to embrace the next chapter of your journey, where you will discover actionable techniques for enhancing emotional awareness and resilience, propelling you toward sustained emotional well-being. The time for taking control of your emotional landscape is now, and you have within you the power to redefine your relationship with feelings positively. Embracing the practice of emotional regulation involves simple yet effective steps that can be seamlessly integrated into your daily life. By committing to this process, you create a solid foundation for understanding and managing your emotions, ultimately paving the way for inner peace. Let's delve into actionable approaches that will catalyze your growth and inspire confident strides on your path to emotional mastery. Begin with the check-in technique, a daily ritual you can perform at any time of the day. Allocate a few minutes each morning or afternoon to pause and assess your current emotional state. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and take several deep breaths. Ask yourself questions such as, what am I feeling right now? Is there a specific trigger for my emotions today? How does my body feel in response? This practice encourages awareness and enables you to identify patterns that may influence your mood. By acknowledging your feelings without judgment, you're cultivating emotional intelligence and reestablishing your connection to your internal world. Next, try the Feelings Wheel exercise, a tool designed to enhance your emotional vocabulary. Create or print a feelings wheel, categorizing emotions into basic groups: happy, sad, angry, surprised, and more nuanced terms. As you encounter different emotional moments, consult this wheel to pinpoint your feelings more precisely. For example, rather than simply identifying yourself as angry, use terms like frustrated, irritated, or resentful. This momentum shifts allows you to understand the nuances of your emotions, facilitating more tailored responses instead of broad, reactive patterns. A method closely linked with effective emotional regulation is the practice of cognitive reappraisal. When you face an emotional trigger, such as receiving negative feedback at work, consciously recalibrate your perspective. Instead of taking it personally, take a step back and view it as constructive criticism aimed at your growth. With each instance of cognitive reappraisal, consider what you can learn from the situation, transforming adversity into opportunity. Practicing this intentional mindset shift reinforces resilience, empowering you to remain centered amidst challenges. As small wins are crucial for motivation, strive to celebrate each positive step on your emotional regulation journey. Keep a gratitude journal, writing down at least 3 things that went well each day, no matter how minor. A supportive interaction with a colleague or a positive experience with a loved one can serve as powerful reminders of the progress you're making. Acknowledging these moments nurtures a hopeful outlook and fosters emotional resilience. To foster sustained growth, establish a supportive community or accountability partner. Engage with a friend who shares your commitment to emotional regulation, participating in open dialogues about the successes and challenges you face along the way. Not only does this create a nurturing environment, but it also lays the groundwork for connection and motivation, enhancing your growth trajectory. As we transition to the next chapter, prepare to explore the art of reframing your trauma narratives. You will be equipped with instrumental techniques to rewrite and embrace your stories, allowing you to free yourself from emotional burdens. Remember, each step taken today brings you closer to a more balanced emotional existence. Your commitment to emotional regulation opens doors to a brighter future where you are fully engaged in a meaningful and fulfilling life. Don't forget to subscribe to Mindset Liberation, give this video a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Together, we rise as we embrace the journey toward healing and empowerment. Chapter 4. Reframing Trauma Stories to Empower Growth. The journey toward emotional healing often begins with one powerful yet overlooked act: reframing the narratives forged by our traumas. This process is not about downplaying or dismissing the pain we've endured, but about reshaping our understanding of those experiences to foster resilience and strength. By redefining our trauma stories, we empower ourselves to move beyond victimhood, transforming distress into valuable lessons and insights. This shift not only enhances our self-perception, but opens pathways for personal growth and renewed purpose. The concept of narrative therapy has its roots in psychology, emerging as a compelling approach to help individuals reshape their life narratives. Developed in the late 20th century, narrative therapy emphasizes the importance of understanding and altering the stories we tell ourselves about our experiences. By decoupling identity from trauma, individuals learn that their lives can be narrated differently, creating space for healing and empowerment. Studies indicate that reframing these narratives not only reduces symptoms of anxiety and depression, but sparks a sense of agency that permeates other aspects of life. Research conducted at the University of North Carolina demonstrated that individuals who participated in narrative therapy showed significant improvement in their overall mental health, highlighting how the power of storytelling transforms our relationship with pain. Consider the story of Marcus, a veteran who struggled to readjust to civilian life after experiencing the trauma of war. His initial narrative centered around loss, guilt, and the burden of unshared experiences. Haunted by memories of friends lost in combat, he confronted deep feelings of unworthiness and despair. Yet, when he engaged in narrative therapy, he began to work on reframing his story. Through guidance, he identified new themes within his experiences, such as courage, resilience, and the importance of community. Recognizing that his military service represented not just loss, but also a commitment to a greater cause, Marcus started to embrace his journey as one of purpose. This newfound perspective empowered him to share his experiences with others, fostering connection and support, while paving the way for his service to help fellow veterans facing similar challenges. Statistics bolster the significance of this reframing process by revealing that individuals who adopt more flexible narratives exhibit higher levels of emotional well-being and life satisfaction. Their willingness to engage with their past while adjusting their narratives contributes to what mental health professionals often refer to as the post-traumatic growth phenomenon. This progression from trauma to flourishing is not merely a fanatical hope, it's an observable reality for many. As you reflect on your own experiences, recognize the potential to redefine your trauma narratives. The power of reframing lies not in altering the facts, but in reshaping the meaning behind them. Each moment of adversity carries an opportunity for growth, one that allows you to reconnect with your essence and envision your life through a new lens. Embrace the belief that you have the power to retell your story, crafting a narrative that amplifies your strengths and resilience, rather than isolating you in pain. Armed with the understanding that you can change the narrative of your life, the next chapter will delve deeper into practical strategies for helping you identify and reframe these stories. You will learn effective techniques to examine past experiences critically, strengthening your foundation for fully embracing the growth that follows. Step into this transformative process with an open heart and mind, ready to celebrate the power of new beginnings. Together, we will navigate the path to empowerment, reclaiming your story with authenticity and courage. Reframing trauma narratives is not just an insightful idea. It is a powerful and effective method grounded in psychological principles that promote healing and personal growth. This approach leverages the brain's inherent ability to rewire itself, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. By actively engaging in reframing, individuals can cultivate new pathways of thought that challenge detrimental beliefs and empower healthier perspectives. This is crucial in overcoming the shackles of past trauma, where the tendency to adopt a victim mentality often restricts personal development and emotional resilience. Scientific studies lend robust support to the efficacy of narrative reframing. Researchers at Washington University found that individuals who actively reframed their traumatic experiences reported significantly lower levels of distress and a greater sense of control. The study highlights how reframing serves to transform emotional responses. By altering the context of events, individuals detach some of the emotional weight associated with them. Furthermore, the psychological benefits of reframing, such as increased self-efficacy and improved mood, have significant implications for mental health treatments, enabling practitioners to integrate these strategies into therapeutic approaches effectively. The story of Rachel illustrates the transformational power of reframing trauma narratives. After experiencing a deeply painful event, the sudden loss of her partner, Rachel found herself enveloped by despair and isolation. Each day brought reminders of her sorrow, leading Rachel to cultivate a narrative steeped in hopelessness. Despite feeling trapped in a cycle of grief, she decided to seek help through a support group that utilized reframing techniques. Guided through exercises that prompted her to reinterpret her memories, Rachel began to identify the immense strength her partner had inspired in her. By recalling moments of love and laughter, instead of emphasizing sorrow, Rachel found a way to honor her partner's memory while reclaiming her joy and purpose in life. Engaging in this reframing process necessitates recognizing the inherent flexibility of our perspectives. We often fail to perceive that our stories are not fixed. They are malleable and can be reshaped to embody resilience rather than defeat. Research indicates that individuals who adopt a growth mindset, that their abilities and intelligence can be developed, are particularly inclined to succeed in reframing and overcoming adversity. This mindset cultivates an attitude that views challenges as opportunities for growth rather than as barriers. However, the practice of reframing requires intentionality and persistence. As you embark on this journey, remember that it is entirely natural to encounter resistance when attempting to alter long-held beliefs. This resistance is often the result of deeply ingrained habits in how we perceive ourselves and natural events in our lives. Recognizing this difficulty does not negate your ability to change those narratives. Instead, it galvanizes your determination by showing that the process is worthwhile. The urgency of reframing trauma narratives becomes increasingly clear when we acknowledge that remaining stuck in a negative cycle can rob us of joy, connection, and growth. Each moment spent dwelling on pain is a moment taken away from the possibilities of hope and renewal. Reframing not only invites healing, but also empowers you to seize the narrative of your life, infusing it with newly discovered strengths and meaning. As we transition to the next part of this chapter, you will encounter practical strategies to delve into your narratives and harness the power of reframing to foster resilience. Prepare to unlock the potential of your past experiences, giving them new life as you embrace the enriching journey toward healing, empowerment, and a brighter future. Embracing the art of reframing your trauma narrative invites powerful changes into your life, and implementing this method is more achievable than you might think. The journey begins with intentional reflection and practice. allowing you to gradually reshape how you view your past experiences. As you delve into the following steps, know that each action contributes to your emotional resilience and growth. Start by identifying specific memories or experiences that have shaped your narrative. Choose one instance that feels significant but manageable. Once you have selected the moment, write down the details of the event as you remember it. Be honest and thorough, acknowledging the emotions and thoughts that arise. This initial act of documentation serves to lay out the impact of the experience clearly. By pinpointing the narrative as it currently stands, you prepare yourself for the process of reframing. Next, reflect on how this experience has influenced your beliefs about yourself and the larger world. Ask yourself poignant questions. How do you view your strengths based on this experience? Are there misunderstandings or generalized thoughts you've adopted as truths? Write these reflections beside your initial notes. Acknowledging these beliefs is pivotal. They serve as insights into the framework that holds your past in place. The third step is to introduce alternative perspectives. Consider seeking out new angles from which to view your experiences. What if you took on the role of an observer instead of the main character? What would you say to a friend recounting a similar experience? Encouraging your mind to embrace this flexibility expands your narrative's scope. You may even jot down empowering statements that redefine the meaning of the traumatic event, framing it in a way that emphasizes growth, strength, or compassion rather than pain. Once you create a positive reframe, it's essential to practice integrating this new narrative into your daily life. Start by sharing it with someone you trust, whether it's a friend, therapist, or support group. Articulating your reframe narrative out loud can potentially solidify this shift and make it feel more real. As you speak about your experiences with this new lens, you promote acceptance and understanding within yourself, while reinforcing the belief that your story can evolve constructively. Creating small wins throughout this process encourages momentum. Celebrate each time you reflect on your reframed narrative. For instance, if you catch yourself slipping back into the old mindset, awareness itself is a victory. Acknowledge your understanding and return to your empowered version of the narrative. Consider writing down these small successes in a gratitude journal, claiming space for appreciation as you experience growth. These small positive affirmations are crucial. They fuel your progress and remind you of the continual transformation you are initiating. As we prepare to move forward into the next chapter, you will soon discover techniques focused on building resilience through the establishment of healthier boundaries and support systems. Embracing the knowledge that you can reframe your past, you will set the stage for deeper connections and a more fulfilling life. Stay engaged in this journey, and don't forget to subscribe to Mindset Liberation. Like this video and share your thoughts or suggestions. Together, we'll embrace the journey of empowerment, discovering the profound potential that lies within your narrative and toward a hopeful future. Chapter 5. Building Resilience with Daily Mental Shifts. Resilience is not a trait we are simply born with. It is a skill that can be cultivated through intentional daily practices and mental shifts. The journey of building resilience empowers individuals to face challenges with newfound strength and grace, transforming not just how we respond to adversity, but enhancing our overall quality of life. By implementing small but impactful changes in our mindset, we can shift how we perceive difficulties and bounce back with unwavering tenacity. This chapter is designed to guide you in developing a resilient mindset that fuels your personal growth and emotional well-being. The concept of resilience is deeply rooted in psychological studies, tracing its foundations to research that began during the Second World War. Psychologists sought to understand why certain individuals, even amid tremendous hardship, thrived, while others succumbed to despair. Over the years, the study of resilience evolved into a significant area of focus in positive psychology, revealing that resilience can be nurtured through specific mental practices. According to the American Psychological Association, individuals with high resilience display improved coping mechanisms, leading to lower rates of anxiety and depression. A staggering 60% of people report having faced adversity at some point in their lives, Yet building resilience is critical for overcoming such challenges and emerging stronger. Expert insights from thought leaders in psychology stress the importance of mental shifts as foundational building blocks for resilience. For example, Dr. Carol Dweck, a renowned psychologist at Stanford University, introduced the concept of a growth mindset, the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This perspective is critical for embracing challenges rather than avoiding them. When individuals adopt a growth mindset, they view setbacks not as indicators of failure, but as essential learning experiences that propel them toward their goals. Consider the journey of Tara, who faced significant obstacles when attempting to pursue her career as an artist. Initially fraught with self-doubt, she continually questioned whether her work would resonate with others. Each application to showcase her art seemed disheartening, as rejection overshadowed the validation she sought. Instead of allowing discouragement to deter her, Tara began implementing daily mental shifts designed to reinforce her resilience. Upon waking each day, she vowed to view obstacles as opportunities to grow her skills rather than define her worth. By allowing herself the freedom to learn and experiment, her art evolved, and she soon gained the recognition she feared would never come. Tara's transformation exemplifies how daily mental shifts can cultivate resilience and redefine one's path. The capacity to transform your mindset lies within you. It is vital to recognize that resilience can be developed, refined, and strengthened over time. As you embark on this journey, understand that generating a resilient mindset is critical in shaping your emotional landscape. Building resilience is not merely about bouncing back, it's about advancing forward, enriched by experiences that challenge you. By integrating these daily mental practices and shifts, you unlock the vast potential within yourself to navigate life's challenges with confidence. Moving ahead, we will delve deeper into practical techniques and specific mental shifts you can adopt to build resilience. Every effort you make toward cultivating a resilient mindset paves the way for personal empowerment and growth. Know that each step is a testament to your strength and dedication, and the journey itself holds immense value as you strive for more fulfilling outcomes in life. Prepare to embrace the tactics that will amplify your resilience and forge connections with your inherent strength, preparing you for the empowering path that lies ahead. Building resilience through daily mental shifts is an effective method because it encompasses adaptive strategies that directly challenge negative thought patterns and bolster emotional strength. Research in cognitive behavioral psychology underscores the significance of actively reshaping the way we think and respond to adversity. According to a study published in the journal Psychological Bulletin, individuals trained in resilience frameworks experience a marked reduction in anxiety and depression, confirming that our mindset can significantly influence our emotional outcomes. By adopting practices that are focused on constructive self-talk and positivity, we can cultivate resilience, ultimately enhancing our overall well-being. One of the foundational reasons behind this effectiveness lies in the compelling concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable capacity to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. When we implement practices that encourage positive thinking and self-compassion, we essentially train our brains to perceive challenges differently. Studies have shown that engaging regularly with activities that promote a positive outlook not only changes our thoughts, but can alter the very structure of our brains, enabling increased resilience. Just as physical exercise strengthens our muscles, mental exercises lead to deeper mental resources that empower us to face adversity. Consider Ryan's story as a testament to the transformative power of daily mental shifts. Overwhelmed by the pressures of high-stakes sales at his job, Ryan faced significant stress that seeped into every area of his life. He was initially caught in a toxic cycle of self-doubt and external validation, striving for success at the expense of his well-being. It was during this tumultuous period that Ryan realized he could either succumb to his anxiety or actively take control of his internal landscape. He made a conscious choice to begin his day with gratitude and positive affirmations. By starting each morning reflecting on the things he was thankful for and stating empowering beliefs to himself, Ryan planted the seeds for resilience in the midst of trial. As Ryan continued to practice these mental shifts, he observed profound changes in his response to challenges. Rejections that once inflicted deep emotional wounds felt less devastating. Instead of internalizing disappointment, he approached setbacks with a growth mindset, viewing them as opportunities for refining his approach and learning new strategies. With each small victory built on the foundation of resilience, he found renewed motivation. He documented his progress via a journal, which helped him identify patterns in his thoughts and solidify the positive changes he was making in his mental framework. The urgency behind adopting these resilience-building practices is crucial. Life's unpredictability is inevitable, and challenges will always arise, but our ability to effectively respond to them determines our mental and emotional fortitude. Resilience creates a buffer against stress, enhancing not just emotional well-being but overall performance in various aspects of life, from personal relationships to professional pursuits. As we prepare to explore more concrete techniques for reinforcing resilience, reflect on the steps you can take to initiate these daily shifts in your own life. Embrace your power as an agent of change, armed with the knowledge that through small, deliberate mental adjustments, you can rewrite your narrative and transform your relationship with adversity. Your journey toward resilience is just beginning, and the tools and strategies to support you in this endeavor are ahead. The next chapter promises to equip you with practical approaches that integrate seamlessly into your daily routine, setting the stage for profound transformation on your resilience journey. Cultivating resilience is a dynamic process that involves intentional practices and actionable strategies that can seamlessly integrate into your daily routine. By taking concrete steps toward building resilience, you create a solid foundation that empowers you to tackle life's adversities with confidence. Let's explore how you can implement these methods effectively, ensuring that each step contributes to a stronger, more resilient you. Begin your journey with the practice of daily affirmations. Set aside a few minutes each morning to write or say affirmations that resonate with you. These affirmations are positive statements about yourself and your capabilities, designed to counteract negative thought patterns. For instance, you might say, "I have the strength to face any challenge that comes my way." Or, "Every setback is a setup for my comeback." This simple exercise trains your mind to adopt a more positive and resilient mindset. Over time, verbalizing these affirmations can lead to shifts in your internal dialogue, reinforcing your sense of self-efficacy. Next, incorporate the gratitude journaling technique into your routine. Each evening, spend a few moments reflecting on your day and jotting down 3 things you are grateful for. They can be as simple as having enjoyed a pleasant conversation with a friend or savoring a delicious meal. This daily practice not only induces feelings of positivity, but also cultivates a mindset that recognizes the goodness in your life amidst challenges. Research supports the notion that practicing gratitude can enhance emotional resilience, as it shifts your focus from what is lacking to recognizing the abundance around you. Another effective exercise is called the Reframing challenge. Identify a recent situation that caused you stress or discomfort and write it down. Next, challenge yourself to reframe that situation. Ask yourself how you can view this experience differently. What lessons were learned? What strengths did you display while facing the adversity? This practice of cognitive reframing allows you to examine the silver linings in difficult moments, reshaping your narrative into one that emphasizes personal growth and resilience. To build momentum and capitalize on small wins, set specific, attainable goals. Rather than overwhelming yourself with extensive long-term goals, focus on creating smaller objectives related to building resilience. You could aim to engage in positive self-talk at least 3 times each day, or choose one act of self-care daily. Celebrating these small victories reinforces your progress, providing motivation and strengthening your emotional foundation. Finally, connect with a community, or find an accountability partner. Engaging with others who share similar goals cultivates a sense of belonging and support. Organize regular catch-up sessions to share your experiences and reflect on the progress you've made in building resilience. This interaction helps solidify your commitment and creates an environment where personal growth is embraced and encouraged. As we conclude this chapter, prepare to dive deeper into the next one, where we will explore the vital role of establishing healthy boundaries and fostering supportive relationships. Understanding how to protect your emotional space and cultivate connections that uplift rather than drain you is crucial for sustaining your newfound resilience. Embrace this opportunity for growth and remember that every step you take moves you closer to becoming the resilient person you aspire to be. As always, don't forget to subscribe to Mindset Liberation, like this video, and leave your thoughts or suggestions in the comments. Together, we can continue this empowering journey toward emotional mastery. Chapter 6: Strengthening Boundaries to Protect Your Mind. Setting and maintaining effective boundaries is not just a personal preference. It is crucial for achieving and sustaining emotional health. In a world that often demands more from us than we can give, knowing how to assert limits is vital for nurturing your well-being and preserving your inner peace. This chapter focuses on building healthy boundaries as a form of self-care, providing you with the skills needed to protect your emotional space while enhancing your relationships. Empowered boundaries enable you to reclaim your time and energy, ultimately reminding you that your needs and feelings are valid. The concept of boundaries originates from the field of psychology, specifically within understanding healthy interpersonal relationships. Boundaries are not merely walls that keep people out. Instead, they are protective barriers, allowing you to engage constructively with others while preserving your identity and emotional health. Statistics reveal that roughly 70% of individuals struggle with setting clear boundaries, leading to feelings of resentment, burnout, or being overwhelmed in both professional and personal contexts. Thus, mastering the art of establishing boundaries is more essential than ever. Expert insights indicate that the absence of boundaries often leads to emotional dysregulation and chronic stress. Dr. Henry Cloud, a clinical psychologist and author, highlights in his works that clear boundaries create a foundation for healthy relationships by delineating where one person ends and another begins. Without boundaries, relationships devolve into emotional chaos, resulting in misunderstandings and ineffective communication. Expert opinions reinforce the pressing need for individuals to identify their limits to maintain emotional health and mobilize personal energy effectively. Consider the relatable story of Jessica, a dedicated employee who found herself continually overwhelmed by her supervisor's demands. Each request piled onto her workload, leading to an unmanageable level of stress. Initially, Jessica hesitated to push back, fearing that saying no would jeopardize her career. However, as her well-being began to decline, she recognized that setting boundaries was crucial. Through self-reflection, Jessica established clearer limits on her working hours and communicated her capacity honestly with her supervisor. By advocating for herself, she not only safeguarded her mental health, but also nurtured a more effective working relationship, reflected in her renewed productivity and morale. Establishing boundaries empowers you to exercise agency over your emotional landscape. Without this protective framework, emotional exhaustion often creeps in, degrading personal relationships, professional performance, and self-worth. Building awareness around your limits enables you to make informed choices, engendering intentional connections with others while prioritizing your health. Moreover, the psychological effects of positive boundary setting have been supported by consumer health research, which shows a direct correlation between effective personal boundaries and improved mental well-being. Individuals who assert healthy limits report lower levels of anxiety, enhanced self-esteem, and greater overall life satisfaction. The realization that you possess the power to determine what is acceptable in your life instills confidence, helping you navigate interpersonal relationships with clarity and purpose. As we venture forward into this chapter, you can anticipate practical strategies and techniques designed to establish and reinforce boundaries in everyday life. Remember, the strength to protect your mind and energy lies within you. Each step you take toward asserting yourself contributes to a healthier, more empowered existence. Embrace this opportunity for growth as we continue to delve into the transformative power of boundaries. cultivating a nurturing space for emotional resilience and well-being that allows you to thrive. Establishing and maintaining healthy boundaries is not merely a set of guidelines. It is a powerful practice that addresses the pervasive issues of emotional exhaustion and interpersonal strife. The effectiveness of this method lies in its ability to provide a framework for clear communication, fostering understanding in relationships and ensuring that personal needs are not overshadowed by external demands. Psychological research validates the significance of boundaries, demonstrating a direct correlation between boundary setting and enhanced emotional well-being. When individuals engage in boundary setting, they articulate their needs, protect their emotional space, and cultivate self-respect. This acts as a safeguard against the encroachment of others, enabling individuals to thrive under their own terms. Studies from the field of positive psychology indicate that those who practice clear boundary setting report significantly lower levels of anxiety and stress. A study published in the International Journal of Well-Being found that participants who effectively set personal boundaries experienced a decrease in stress-related symptoms, increasing their overall life satisfaction. By distinguishing where personal responsibilities lie and identifying what is manageable, individuals gain clarity, confidence, and a profound sense of control over their emotional health. Consider the journey of Mia, a compassionate healthcare worker dedicated to providing the best for her patients. Over time, however, the demands of her job began to take a toll on her well-being. Late shifts, emotional exhaustion, and an inability to say no led to increasing levels of burnout. After reaching a breaking point, she began to teach herself the importance of establishing boundaries. With professional guidance, Mia formulated her own set of guidelines that delineated her work hours, delineated self-care practices, and addressed her need for support. By communicating these boundaries clearly to her colleagues, she ensured that her boundaries were respected, allowing her to recharge effectively between shifts. Mia's transformation illustrates how the practice of setting boundaries upholds personal integrity, leading to significant emotional recovery. As she established her limits, she felt liberated from the pressures that previously overwhelmed her, providing her with more energy and focus to excel in her tasks. The result was a constructive cycle. The more Mia prioritized her own mental health, the more effective she became in her role. This reinforced a powerful truth. Setting boundaries is not selfish. Rather, it creates the space to operate at full capacity while minimizing the risk of burnout. The urgency of developing strong boundaries is underscored by societal expectations that often encourage self-sacrifice in relationships. Many people mistakenly believe that ignoring their own needs is a prerequisite to fostering connection or love. Such misconceptions can lead to resentment and emotional depletion. The practice of boundary setting actively challenges these beliefs, reframing self-advocacy as an act of strength that does not harm relationships but enhances them. As you reflect on your own life, recognize that the establishment of boundaries equips you with critical tools that foster emotional health and resilience. The ability to say no without guilt, to prioritize your needs, and to communicate effectively can transform not only your emotional landscape, but also your relationships with others. In the next section, we will delve deeper into practical strategies that you can employ to implement boundaries seamlessly into your daily life, fostering a balanced approach toward personal empowerment and emotional well-being. Each tactic you adopt can minimize stress while boosting your capacity to connect with others on your own terms. Preparing to reclaim your emotional space sets the stage for rich interpersonal relationships while maintaining a commitment to your own needs. To effectively implement the practice of setting healthy boundaries, it's essential to approach this process with intention and clear strategies. The next steps will empower you to take charge of your emotional well-being by asserting your needs and fostering more fulfilling relationships. Let's explore practical exercises, techniques, and shifts in mindset that will help you establish and reinforce your boundaries. Begin with a self-assessment. Take a moment to reflect on your current relationships and identify areas where you feel discomfort or overwhelm. List specific situations or individuals that may challenge your limits. This self-awareness is the foundation for recognizing the boundaries you need to create. Understanding your feelings and responses will clarify where adjustments must be made, providing you with insight into your emotional landscape. Once you have pinpointed these areas, embark on the personal boundary inventory exercise. Create a document where you articulate what you need in various relationships or situations. For example, in the workplace you might state, "I will not respond to work emails after 7 p.m. In personal friendships, you may declare, "I need 2 days' notice for social engagements." By defining these boundaries explicitly, you fortify your resolve to uphold them when necessary. Next, practice effective communication. Once you have clearly outlined your boundaries, it's crucial to communicate them assertively. Approaching conversations with kindness and confidence is essential. Rehearse phrases you can use when discussing your boundaries. For instance, you might say, "I value our time together, but I need some alone time each week to recharge." Using I statements focuses on your feelings rather than placing blame, which helps to mitigate defensiveness from others, a critical element in maintaining healthy dialogue. Another powerful exercise is role-playing potential boundary-setting conversations. Enlist a trusted friend or partner to practice with you. By simulating these discussions, you allow yourself to become comfortable articulating your needs more powerfully. Over time, this practice cultivates confidence and clarity, making it easier to assert your boundaries in real situations. To build momentum, celebrate small wins each time you successfully establish or reinforce a boundary. Acknowledge your courage for speaking up or saying no when it would have been easier to acquiesce. Tracking these victories in a journal is an excellent way to remind yourself of your progress, reinforcing the understanding that boundary setting is a skill that improves with practice. Additionally, take moments throughout your day to pause and assess your energy levels. Ask yourself if you feel drained or energized. This check-in can serve as a prompt to evaluate whether you need to reinforce boundaries in that moment. For instance, if attending a social event leaves you feeling overwhelmed, vow to communicate to your friends your need for downtime in the future. As we conclude this chapter, we will soon transition into discussing the vital topic of nurturing supportive relationships and understanding what it means to establish a circle of influence that respects your boundaries. This foundation empowers you to maintain healthy connections with others while fostering resilience and emotional well-being. Remember, setting boundaries is a significant act of self-love that allows for healthy dynamics in relationships. As you embrace this journey, don't forget to subscribe to Mindset Liberation, give this video a thumbs up, and add your thoughts or suggestions in the comments. Together, we can cultivate deeper awareness and create the basis for overall emotional clarity and respect. Chapter 7. Embracing Healing as a Lifelong Journey. The path to healing is not a destination. Rather, it is an ongoing journey that requires continual commitment and nurturing. Embracing the notion of healing as a lifelong process transforms how we navigate adversity and personal growth. It inspires hope and empowers individuals to integrate their experiences into a beautiful narrative of resilience and strength. By acknowledging that healing is not linear, we cultivate the patience and appreciation necessary to honor our growth, creating a foundation for enduring emotional well-being. The origins of the concept of healing as a journey can be traced back through various cultures and psychological frameworks. From ancient traditions that emphasized holistic wellness to contemporary therapeutic practices, the understanding that healing is fluid and evolving remains universally applicable. Statistics reveal that nearly 1 in 5 adults experience mental illness in any given year, suggesting a collective reality where the journey of healing is common among a large population. This leads us to acknowledge that while you may feel isolated in your struggles, many others share similar experiences and challenges. Expert insights into the nature of healing further bolster the idea of it being a lifelong journey. Renowned psychologist and researcher Dr. Judith Herman highlights in her book, Trauma and Recovery, that genuine healing takes time and often involves revisiting aspects of trauma as well as embracing growth amid suffering. She asserts that transformation occurs through a process of integration rather than competition with one's past. This understanding resonates with many who have experienced trauma, reinforcing the notion that healing is not merely about moving past an experience, but about weaving it into the fabric of one's identity. Consider the inspiring story of Michael, a man who faced the aftermath of a harrowing accident that left him grappling with physical and emotional scars. Initially, Michael was consumed by anger, feeling robbed of a fulfilling life, and resigned to burdensome trauma. Through therapy, he adopted a mindset that viewed healing as a continuous journey rather than a stringent battle to overcome. He learned to honor each step taken, understanding that healing encompasses both growth and setbacks. As he navigated this journey, Michael discovered healing practices that resonated with him, such as meditation, journaling, and community support. By embracing healing as a lifelong commitment, he gradually transformed bitter memories into sources of strength, promoting resilience and authenticity. This journey, of recognizing healing as transformative rather than prescriptive, invites crucial shifts in your mindset. By valuing the process of healing, rather than fixating purely on outcomes, you empower yourself to engage fully with your own narrative. Each trial will reveal insights and strength that contribute to your emotional landscape, shifting the focus from feeling broken to understanding that healing is about evolving. Understanding and embracing this ongoing journey keeps the door to self-improvement open. With every step taken along the path of healing, you gain confidence in your ability to navigate life's complexities and embrace growth opportunities. You become an active participant in your story, liberated from the weight of feeling like a passive victim of circumstance. As we transition to the next chapter, prepare to explore the practical techniques and strategies that will enhance your healing journey. We will delve into approaches for cultivating an empowering mindset, developing a supportive community, and embracing self-care practices that honor your commitment to lasting healing. Your journey is not merely about surviving, it's about flourishing as you navigate your path to emotional wellness. Remember that you possess the strength to shape your narrative and embrace this beautiful, ongoing journey toward healing in all its forms. Embracing healing as a lifelong journey has proven to be an incredibly effective approach to overcoming emotional and psychological challenges. One of the pivotal reasons this method works is its emphasis on flexibility and self-compassion, a shift away from rigid timelines and benchmarks of recovery. Research in psychology supports this notion, demonstrating that a more adaptive approach to healing not only lessens the burden of expectation, but also fosters resilience and promotes ongoing personal growth. Scientific studies have shown that individuals who view healing as an evolving process tend to experience better psychological outcomes. According to a meta-analysis published in the Journal of Counseling Psychology, a flexible mindset significantly correlates with reduced symptoms of anxiety and depression. Rather than viewing setbacks as failures, those with a growth-oriented perspective embrace them as integral components of their healing journeys. This mindset encourages individuals to explore their emotions, confront past traumas, and cultivate self-awareness, rather than retreating to unhealthy coping mechanisms. Consider the transformation experienced by Anna, a young woman who faced childhood trauma that carried into her adult relationships. For years, Anna felt stagnated, believing that healing was a quick process measured by getting over her past. Each time she relapsed into old emotions, she experienced crushing disappointment, questioning her progress. When she learned to redefine her understanding of healing to encompass a lifelong pursuit, Anna gained the freedom to explore her feelings without shame. She soon discovered that healing was an ongoing commitment that would require patience and care, ultimately leading her to healthier relationships and a more profound sense of self. The urgency for adopting this mindset becomes increasingly apparent when we consider the ramifications of resisting the reality of ongoing healing. Many individuals fall into the trap of believing they should reach closure suddenly or avoid revisiting painful memories. This temporal pressure can lead to unresolved feelings festering beneath the surface, contributing to anxiety, depression, or relationship difficulties. By accepting that healing takes time and may involve readdressing old wounds, you empower yourself to process emotions constructively rather than burying them. Furthermore, embracing the belief that healing is a journey cultivates a significant sense of connection. When individuals share their struggles and affirmations with others, they often find community among those with similar experiences. This bond fosters empathy, validation, and a shared understanding of the complexities of healing, reminding you that you are not alone on your path. In fact, studies have indicated that social support effectively enhances resilience and emotional recovery. A sense of belonging can propel personal healing forward, creating a nurturing environment where wounds can be acknowledged and worked through collaboratively. To align with this enriching approach, allowing yourself space for reflection and self-exploration is essential. Journaling, art therapy, or engaging with supportive communities provides opportunities to articulate your feelings and thoughts, solidifying your understanding of your healing journey's dynamic nature. Each engagement with your past and aspirations for the future serves to build a more complete picture of who you are and who you can become, a step toward embracing your ever-evolving path. As we move toward the next chapter, get ready to explore practical techniques that will support you in fostering self-care and developing emotional resilience throughout your lifelong healing process. The focus will be on actionable strategies that honor your journey while enhancing your sense of agency over your life. Remember, each step you take holds immense value, allowing you to confront adversity and emerge not only as a survivor, but as a thriver in the rich tapestry of your personal narrative. Your commitment to healing sets the stage for profound transformation and empowerment. To effectively embrace healing as a lifelong journey, it's essential to have practical steps and techniques that you can implement in your daily life. Each action you take contributes not only to your healing, but also empowers you to foster resilience and adaptability. Let's explore actionable guidance that will help you integrate this understanding into your everyday experiences, laying the groundwork for ongoing emotional well-being. Begin by establishing a daily routine that centers on self-reflection. Set aside time each day, preferably in the morning or evening, when you can commit to quietly reflecting on your emotions. Consider utilizing a journal for this exercise. In your journal, write freely about your feelings, experiences, and any challenges you faced. Be honest and gentle with yourself, allowing your thoughts to flow without judgment. This simple practice fosters self-awareness and invites you to connect with your inner voice, enabling a deeper understanding of your journey. Next, identify and celebrate small wins. Healing is rarely linear, and it's essential to acknowledge progress, no matter how small. At the end of each week, take a moment to review your journal and note any achievements. Perhaps you articulated a boundary, reached out for support, or simply acknowledged a difficult emotion without retreating. List these wins and treat yourself as you would a friend. Engage in self-compassion by recognizing your efforts and resilience. This practice will assist you in shifting your focus from what you feel may be lacking to the abundance of effort and progress you're making. Now let's focus on incorporating mindfulness into your healing journey. Engage in mindful activities that resonate with you, such as meditation, deep breathing exercises, or gentle movement like yoga. Each day, dedicate at least 10 minutes to one of these practices. Mindfulness encourages you to remain present, fostering acceptance of your feelings rather than imposing judgment. By regularly engaging in mindfulness, you enhance your capacity to navigate emotional challenges, making it easier to accept your journey as it unfolds. To bolster this approach, consider creating a vision board that represents your healing journey. Collect images and phrases that resonate with your goals, inspirations, and reminders of your strength. This visual representation serves to keep your aspirations in focus, reminding you of your commitment to ongoing healing and self-discovery. Spend time with this board each week, updating it as your journey evolves and your vision expands. Additionally, engage with a support system that makes you feel understood and validated. Reach out to friends, family, or support groups and communicate openly about your healing journey. Sharing your experiences not only fosters connection, but also reinforces the understanding that healing is a collective journey. Speak about your progress, your aspirations, and the changing landscape of your emotions, creating a foundation of support around you. Lastly, practice self-compassion diligently. Give yourself permission to feel whatever arises during your healing journey. Remember that you are in a continuous process of learning and growing. When setbacks occur, treat yourself with kindness, acknowledging that these experiences are simply part of your evolving narrative. As you embrace these steps, you're actively engaging in a journey of healing that is fulfilling and transformative. Know that you are making strides in constructing the emotional framework that supports your well-being for the long haul. As we step into the next chapter, you will discover practical self-care techniques and the importance of nurturing relationships as part of your ongoing healing journey. Together, let's explore actionable ways to fortify your resilience and reinforce your commitment to living fully in your truth. Your journey doesn't just lead to survival. It invites you to thrive. As we come to the conclusion of this journey through self-discovery and healing, we have explored the vital elements of understanding trauma triggers, implementing emotional regulation, building resilience, establishing healthy boundaries, and embracing healing as a lifelong journey. Each chapter has equipped you with practical tools and insights designed to empower you to take control of your emotional well-being and nurture meaningful relationships. By recognizing your strengths and fostering a compassionate relationship with yourself, you unlock the capacity for growth and transformation. It's paramount to understand that the journey of healing is ongoing, one that demands patience, awareness, and support from both yourself and your community. Thank you for investing your time in this exploration of self-improvement. Your willingness to engage in this process is a powerful step towards creating the fulfilling life you envision. If you found this content valuable, please do take a moment to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel for more empowering content. Together, let's continue nurturing our journeys towards resilience and emotional mastery. Your path to healing and growth starts here.